Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup. Emmett?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. Had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout? Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one. The mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
What's this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really. Mind if I...
Go ahead. Ah, that'd be Mr. Needleman's card. I'll just put this in the stack with the other hooligans.
Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.
Yeah, about 90% of Hill Valley thus far. It's a little disturbing.
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
Emmett?
Yeah?
So, you and Edna, how serious are you guys?
Well, we both enjoy a good joke every now and then, but I'd say on the whole we're fairly serious people. Why do you ask?
No. What I mean is, how serious is your relationship?
Oh, well, as a scientist, I can't state this with 100% confidence, but I'm provisionally certain that I'm head over heels in love.
Really? With Edna?
What can I say? She's my muse. In the week since we've been courting, she's given me so many wonderful ideas.
Can't believe you invented all this in 2 months.
Well, like I said, there's not really a whole lot of inventing going on here. I just dressed up a $5 potentiometer with a lot of bells and whistles.
But
Don't get me wrong, it does a remarkable job of telling whether a subject is currently liking or disliking what they're experiencing. But all the extra stuff about sorting out criminals from model citizens is mostly a bunch of hooey at this point.
how are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
He's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
Is all this new stuff what you're showing off at the expo?
Yes, it's our mental alignment meter.
Mental alignment meter? What's a mental alignment meter?
It's the most revolutionary piece of technology since the cotton gin.
What does it do?
It reads and interprets the subconscious desires of the human mind.
Why would you want to probe people's minds?
Why wouldn't you? Imagine being able to diagnose mental disorders with a flick of a switch, or detect the truthfulness of courtroom testimony merely by connecting a witness to a small portable device.
Your machine does all that?
Not yet. Frankly, right now the whole thing's just a gussied-up potentiometer. But with years of refinements and a whole lot of investors, the MAM will be able to identify countless psychosis and neurosis, alcoholism, acrophobia, Oedipal complexes.
And
then we can set about curing them, of course.
Of course. Anyway. Did you make a mind map of yourself?
Of course. Take a look.
Edna's right. You are a model citizen.
At least as far as my invention's concerned. Confidentially, this whole enterprise is a little light on the hard science and a little heavy on the smoke and mirrors.
Could you tell me how this mental alignment meter works again?
Of course. Now, pay attention. Subjects put on the mind mapping helmet, which I activate with this radio switch.
Check.
The subject is then exposed to a series of visual stimuli provoking positive, negative, or indifferent reactions that are recorded by the mind map printer.
Right.
Once a mind map is completed, it can be inserted into the mental alignment meter to pronounce judgment on the subject's mental state.
Okay, I think I got it. You get back to work.
Thanks.
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps. So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding. Looks like you got a lot of hooligans.